Hi and welcome to this video. In this video we are going to install Linux distros inside a Windows machine using a VirtualBox. So those who don't know what is VirtualBox, it is a tool to host another operating system inside an operating system. For example, I'm using a Windows 7 64-bit machine as my host, and if you want to use Mac OS or Linux, Ubuntu, any distro, you can just use VirtualBox to host that OS without affecting your original data in your OS. So that is what VirtualBox is used. So here we'll just start from installing VirtualBox. To download VirtualBox, you just have to go to the virtualbox.org. This is the Oracle's VirtualBox site, and you can download it, and actually can download the latest version, that is 5.2 as of for now. And after you get download, you just run your installer as I'm doing it in Windows installations. So you will have Windows host and Linux host. Since I am using Windows as my host, so I'll just go and download the Windows host. If you are already using OS or Linux, you can just go use this and download and install VirtualBox like any other software. So after you complete your installation, you will have your main dashboard here. So I have already have a Linux distro in my VirtualBox. I'll just make another copy of it. You can just make a copy of it, but I'll just walk you through how you can do in this format from scratch. So all you have to do is just click new and type whatever your name for your host has to be. I'll just click YouTube for the name purpose, and I'll just click what is the type. If you're hosting your Windows, you can just host. If you're making any other software, you can just click whatever that is a part of yours, and I'm hosting Linux here. And Linux is based on, I'm not using any Ubuntu or something, I'm using Debian format. You can use Debian for this, so I'll just have to Debian and Debian 64 or 32-bit. If there is another thing, if your VirtualBox doesn't show your 64-bit options like this 64-bit, that means your CPU or hardware doesn't support virtualization of CPU, or you may support that may be disabled in your BIOS. So for that, you just go to your BIOS and enable your virtualization so that your 64-bit can be visible here. That is what I did to make the 64-bit comes here. And after this, just click next, and this is what your RAM size going to be for your Linux distribution for hosting in Linux. So the default is just give whatever the RAM size you want, but the default is I'll just give 1 GB of RAM for this one. And next, you will have to configure your hard disk. This is a virtual disk, so that you can take your memory for your virtual hard disk. So I'll just give the recommended size is 8 GB, and I'll just create a virtual disk hard disk now. Just create it new if you don't have it in previous one. So the hard disk file tab, give it to the default, go next, type it next. And this is very important, like what is a dynamically allocated means. If you're making a fixed disk, you cannot modify it later. If you are dynamically allocated, you can just modify on the go. So just dynamically allocate it and click next. And this is what your name should be, and this is what your files is. If you have a lots of hard disk, you just give whatever size you want. For this tutorial, I'll just leave it as it is at 8 GB. You can just modify it however you are liking to have for this operating system, and just create. After this create, you will be taken to this main dashboard again as your machine is powered off. to start your booting, you will need to download your OS. You will have to have your bootable OS part. If you want to use Linux, what you can do is go to linuxmint.com. yeah, linuxmint.com, I guess, Linux Mint, and you can just download your main edition here. Since Linux Mint is my favorite edition, so I have downloaded Linux Mint here. From here you can also download wherever you want. Okay, so this is 18.3 Sylvia. You will have your 64, 32 for Cinnamon, Mate, KDE, whatever you will also have. I think it's about 1.4 gigabytes or something, so it will take time based on your network connection. After you complete your downloaded your ISO file, you just make it to a bootable CD or a USB. If you don't know how to make a CD bootable, you just use a burn tool rather than copying a tool. It won't work as copying an ISO file to a pen drive or a CD will boot your system. That will not work. Or else you can burn it using a software like something Windows Burner or some Live CD Burner or something like that, and burn your ISO file to your USB or the CD drive, so that it will make your CD or USB as a bootable device. After you have your bootable CD or USB, you just have to do the next process. I have already inserted my bootable CD, so you can just drive D is my Linux Mint bootable CD. So that what I will do is just right click it and go to settings, and in the settings go to the storage option. Here you will have controller as empty, so in that you will have to mention which drive you're gonna use as a booting device. So for that I am going to use, this is D and F, so I'll just check which is the D is my bootable disk, so that I'll just go here and click this optical disk drive and make this host D drive. So that's it. You can just click OK. So that is all done, and when you double click it, it will hopefully start booting from your CD. This is what your VirtualBox looks like from starting, and yeah, it started all good, and it will automatically boot, and you can install your Linux distro on VirtualBox. And hope you enjoyed this video, and keep on subscribing or liking these videos as I can make new one. This is a new channel obviously, so there are no subscribers on likes, so I'll make good videos, and hope this will help you in installing Linux on your VirtualBox. So thanks for watching, and happy to see you watching this fully. Thank you, and see you in the next video.